it's been a while since many of you have heard from me. Man, God's been so good. He's been so faithful. I'm just overwhelmed by His grace and just His mercy in my life. I'm involved in two incredible ministries, one being in Stockton, California with Kingdom Culture Ministries with Matt Gonzalez and Desiree. I'm so thankful for them. They've been such a help in my life. They have a powerful ministry that's just ministering hope to the city of Stockton. The second ministry that I'm so thankful for, I'm involved with the Awakening 209 with my dear friend Isaiah and his uncle Ben Lucero. They're pioneering a grassroots revival that started in the living room of their home. And both of these ministries, they were there for me in a time when I needed it the most. And they were there just to remind me who I am and who I'm not. So recently I actually took an 8-day trip. I went to Kansas City, Missouri. I had the opportunity to go to International House of Prayers, major conference they do annually every year, One Thing Conference. And man, it was an incredible time. I got to be able to be over there, meet some amazing people with some ministries like YWAM, Call to All, International House of Prayer. Man, I had this feeling, this scary feeling inside of me that was saying that there was something about Kansas City that had to do with my future. I've always had a heart for missions. I've always had a heart to go to the nations. And I wasn't really sure, but I just felt God was highlighting that. And I actually was talking to one of the directors of the missions movement over there. His name's John Kim. And he actually felt led to give me this book called Is That Really You, God? And it's by Lauren Cunningham, who's actually the founder of YWAM. The whole book was his journey from when he was a child all the way till present day. And as I began to read this book on the way home, I just began to cry uncontrollably on my flight. I'm trying to fight back the tears because I'm on this plane and I feel somewhat embarrassed. People are wondering, why is this guy crying? But I'm just crying reading this book. And I just knew God was marking me. I knew in this moment God was calling me to the nations. I had a lot of questions, but I just knew God had it in His hands. And so I prayed a simple prayer on my way home and I said, God, you don't have to persuade me much, but just give me one simple confirmation. And if you do, I'll know it's your will and I'll go. And so on my way home, I got home and I was with my parents and I told them what I felt the Lord was telling me, and they felt it was the Lord as well. And not knowing this, the Lord actually spoke to my dad the night before and spoke to him that he was to give me his paid off vehicle, and they were supposed to take my car, my 2009 Toyota, and take the payments to lower the overhead on my bills for whatever reason, not knowing. By this point, I was kind of convinced God was telling me to go, but I was at a church service that I go to on Sunday nights, and the service was just about out. I was about to leave, and this lady walks up to me and she taps me on the shoulder and she says, hey, you know what? The Lord has given me a word for you. I was fighting it the entire night, but I want to share it with you. And so she began to tell me that she said, the Lord says to you, surely I'm sending you to a new place this year, a far place, and I'll provide all the finances. You don't have to worry about a thing. And she put a highlight on this statement: you will come back, but surely you will go. In that moment, God just arrested my attention and just made it very crystal clear, I'm sending you to the nations. So at this point, I know that I'm going to be going to Kansas City. I'm going to be based there. I'm going to be working with YWAM and their introduction into missions. I feel like that's what God has for me first. And then there's also another ministry that's partnering with them called Call to All. And I think I'm going to be working with them in the future as far as church pioneering, church planning within the 1040 window. It's the place on the map east of Africa, it's East Asia, and it's the Middle East, and it's that window on the map where the gospel is not preached. So how you can help, I'm going to be going in April. It's just 2 months away. If you could partner with me, and first thing, if you could just pray for me, and pray for me as I go, on this mission, as I move to Kansas City, doing work in the 1040 window. I could use all the prayers I can get. And secondly, if you could support me in any way, on any capacity, if you could give. To be honest, this wasn't my idea. It was God's idea, and He said He's going to provide. And so I'm not worried about that, but in any way that you could help and support, if you can pray, if you can give in the link below with Fundly.com, or if you could even share and just share this video and help me as I get the word out. I'm leaving in 2 months. I'm so excited for what God's going to do, and you partnering with me in fulfilling the Great Commission. Even the scriptures say, Matthew 24:14, that when this gospel's preached to all people and all nations, then the end would come. I leave in April, and so I just thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.